Hello and welcome to the Natural Way of Life. This video is all about your sacred womb connection. We will be exploring this topic and I will be here to help you reconnect to your womb, to your power and your personal energy. So first things first, our wombs. I just want to say to every woman, you are magical, you are powerful, and you are wonderful in ways you probably, I don't even know, let's hope you realise, okay? So the womb is such a powerful portal. It holds our creative energy. It holds the energy to be able to bring forth life from other realms into the human realm. So yeah, I think women deserve far more credit. And I just think we need to connect to ourselves more. Now, this is obviously something I've personally, I believe, probably struggled with through a lot of my life. I've definitely felt shame in a lot of areas, even, growing up to do with, periods. I always felt like I had to keep that, quite secretive, quite hidden. You wouldn't want people to know if you were having your period, or the stigma attached, like, oh, you're being moody, or you're emotional, you're hormonal, that's why you're on your period, always kind of like negative connotations. I don't ever believe it was looked at as like a powerful gift, something to be celebrated, to be spoken about. And I would say it's only as I've got older that I felt that confidence, and learning more about my body and how it works and how it operates, that has then helped me on my own healing journey. And this starts from a young age, because girls begin their periods anywhere from like 8 or 9, 10 upwards into their teens, and that is something that we have to deal with through our whole lives. And often I feel as women it's seen as like a burden or an inconvenience, or something a lot of women probably dread every month. I mean, I know I used to, or for many years I just wasn't connected with my cycle. I didn't track it, I didn't follow it. I wasn't probably in tune with my body or what my body was trying to tell me. The same way if you're in an unhealthy relationship, your body will speak to you. You may feel or find you start having problems in a certain area. Let's say obviously connecting to your reproductive system. That might be something that comes up as well. I've definitely had that, I'm going to say, in the past. As an example, when I was younger, I remember my body, my private area, certain things would be, coming up, and that was probably my body's way of warning me, hey, this person's no good for you. Maybe, they're cheating on you. Like, they're not being honest. Like, your body will give you subtle cues. Do you know what I'm saying? And it will try and get your attention, but if you're not connected, you're not switched on, you may miss those attempts for your body that's reaching out and trying to help you heal something. And the same way again for healing, because we store a lot of emotions, pain and trauma in our body, and especially in the womb area. So if you've gone through maybe painful experiences, traumatic experiences, or toxic relationships, that will affect you there too. I will also say, for anyone who is interested in numerology, pay special attention if you have 2 energy, whether that be in your life path, your destiny number, your soul urge number, your personality number, your name, etc., because that 2 is connected to the sacral chakra area. Also 1 energy to your root, which also connects to your genitals as well. That might be something you struggle or have to work on more in this lifetime than others. Okay, so that's something I always connect. I connect it with, numbers, chakras, energy portals. It can be, again, with your astrology too. So I would look at where you have Scorpio energy. If you're someone that has a lot of Scorpio energy, Scorpio is the sign that is connected to that sacral chakra area too. Your womb area, reproductive system. So those people that hold that type of energy may have more challenges to overcome and work through in this particular area. So we're going to look at our connection to the womb. And I want you to look at how this looks and feels for you. Maybe get a pen and paper and journal. Maybe just watching this will prompt you, to look into your connection a little bit more. Is your body in alignment? Is your womb balanced and healthy? Or is it imbalanced? So when I say an imbalance, maybe you keep having recurrent thrush, as an example. Maybe you struggle loads with your monthly period. Maybe you have a problem such as polycystic ovary syndrome, endometriosis, premenstrual stress or tension, and maybe you suffer really badly with bloating or cramps in that area. Maybe you've had a cyst, maybe you've had fibroids. That is what I mean as an indicator for an imbalance, which would show you that there is some healing to be done. Your body has accumulated energy or imbalance and is looking for a way to release that and call your attention to it. The womb is also connected to your creativity. So, an imbalance again would show someone if they're lacking in creativity or difficulty processing emotions or not feeling grounded or rooted in your body. So, how is your creativity flowing? Are you someone that is easily able to express your creativity? Have you got healthy outlets? Because just as I said, the womb can grow life, it is also about, it doesn't always have to symbolize actual life. Because some people may not want children. Some people may not be able to have children. But what it gets you to look at is your creativity. So how are you using that creative energy? Just like I want to say as well, some of the artwork in this video, I don't know the artist, sorry, I can't give the credit, but I just want to say thank you to these creative people who have created such wonderful artwork for us to look at. And that's an example. This picture is just literally made out of flowers. So finding healthy creative outlets, whether that be writing, singing, dancing, art, anything that kind of brings out that creative energy for you. And realizing your power too, because often if you're blocked in your sacral chakra area or there's blockages in your womb, you may find it actually harder to manifest as well. So I've found it's really good to do stretches. I don't per se say that it's yoga or anything. I just do sometimes stretches as and when I feel I need to with my body. I had found when I particularly went through some trauma in that area that I found my hips were really tight, like my groin, my inner thigh. And over time, I found the more I did these stretches, it began to ease. Okay, that pain began to disappear as well as processing emotions. So it's all kind of connected. So stretching daily is really good. There's some really good, you can probably look at some yoga poses and things, but just stretching that area. Also movement of the hips. So if you like to dance, every so often just moving your hips, because the more flexible you are, the more flowing with life you are, because water is connected to the womb too. If you go with the flow more, aren't so rigid, it's easier for you to bring in what you want in your life, okay? That ties into that manifestation process, which is connected. So I also want to look at addressing when we carry pain or trauma or emotions in that area, or shame or guilt. It can be really good to just get a pen and paper, because these are often really intimate and deep and personal subjects that we may not be comfortable about talking with others. Even, I personally wouldn't feel comfortable talking to a stranger, like a therapist or a counsellor. So what I do a lot is I journal. I write down what I feel. And then I might read, or I might look up content or read things that are healing and uplifting or help me process things more as well. But journaling is super, super powerful. And it is about reconnecting us to our power. And I've done a lot of videos on womb health, womb healing, and spiritual kind of topics, and my aim with that is to help others on their healing journey too, because ultimately in healing yourself you can then help heal others, and it kind of is that kind of roll-on effect. Then breath work is also really powerful. Okay, meditation, even yoni steaming. If you've never done it, I would say give it a try. I have done a video on that too. Check that out on my channel, guys. But I found it great. I actually had a really kind of deep emotional release, and it was one of those practices that grounded me. It helped me feel in touch with my body, and it just felt really sacred and peaceful, and it was a form of, you know, meditation and relaxation, and it really helped. A big thing as well is honor your cycle. So track your monthly cycle. If you don't have a period anymore, you no longer have your womb, you can still follow a monthly cycle, you know, with the moon cycles. Follow that, and that will help you kind of track your energy throughout the month. But yeah, look at how you feel during your ovulation. Look at how you feel during your menstruation, your pre-menstruation. And then use that, because that is a gift, that's a guide, that's your wisdom of how to plan your month, what to do when, you know when you're going to have more energy or less energy, you know when you need to be alone. But I would say as well, honor your body. So if your body's calling you to rest before your period, don't be off out at the gym every day, trying to run 10 miles, you know, doing the most at work. Prioritize some time for you, just to relax and just to be. Look at ways you can improve your self-care and self-love for yourself. And most importantly as well is focusing on your health. So consuming things that are healthy for you, listening to what your body needs, especially if you have an imbalance in that area or a health problem. You really need to look at like detoxing, cleansing your body, cleansing your system, so you can allow it to heal more. Be careful of certain products you might be consuming, and try and be as organic and natural as possible, and really look at natural herbs you can use to supplement and help with your healing, along with other natural healing modalities that don't have negative side effects for the body. And the more healing you do and work on yourself, the more ultimately powerful you become. And as this picture shows here, yes, your yoni, your womb, it is a portal. And obviously, like with all energy portals in the body, they can carry pain, stories, heartbreak, memories. So if you've been in a relationship and that relationship has ended, it is important to give yourself time to heal, to cleanse your body physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually of that person's energy. So that can start with, removing things of that person. Don't hold on to old cards, old presents, old clothes, anything that could be connected to that person. You may also want to delete them. That's a physical way to do it. You don't need their phone number. They're not in your life now. Delete, block, get rid of. Then with your body, energy healing treatments, super powerful. Cutting cords. If you don't have money to have anyone help you, assist in that, there are things you can do yourself. So setting up healing rituals. So by healing rituals, that can be anything from getting your candles out. I always say once you set an intention, that's where your energy goes. So you may want to get candles, you might want to write down these intentions to cut and remove cords. You may want to use visualization techniques, to visualize a cord between you and that partner, ex-partner, or the person you're wanting to cut cords with, and you might want to visualize doing that. You might have to do these things a couple of times. You'll also want to give yourself adequate time to grieve, to process those emotions. And guess what? There's no time frame on that. For some people that might be a few weeks, few months, others that could be years. But it's worth doing, and then when you catch yourself thinking about them, try and then, I used to sometimes in my mind, I would do it as, okay, I'm acknowledging what's coming up, but right, I'd almost imagine pressing a delete button and deleting that. Because sometimes as well, if you ruminate your mind and your thoughts back onto that person, or all focusing on the good times, and you're rebuilding those energy cords then, which will not help you in a positive way. So it's important to keep focusing on removing those. And like I say, having energy healing treatments done can be very, very powerful, providing you have the right healer to help and assist you with that. But there's only so much that can be done. And remember, you're powerful, your mind's powerful, and you can rebuild energetic cords and connections if you allow yourself to. So that is why I suggest those suggestions. This is just guidance, like I say. If you feel drawn to some of these ideas, they may help. But yeah, removing all traces of that kind of person from your life. I know for everyone that may not be possible, especially if someone has children with someone, for example, but you can still work on removing those negative energy cords and boundaries as well. Because ultimately you don't want to keep their toxic energy lingering within. This is also why, just a personal opinion, but maybe unpopular, is I don't believe in when people have like casual sex or multiple partners, because again, the womb is so sacred when you're allowing in multiple energies. And then imagine these people you might be intimate with, they could be then going and being intimate with loads of other people too. And it's like, I just feel energetically, obviously that comes with physical health implications, but energetically that could be really dangerous and really unhealthy. And you're opening yourself up then not only to one person's energy but multiple people's energy. Then if they're carrying negative energy or negative attachments, that then can be taken into your own energy field. That's why as well, emotionally, if people are in unhealthy or toxic relationships, or even in relationships where maybe like the partner's cheating or maybe both parties are open to other being intimate with other people, but ultimately that does cause chaos and congestion, not only physically but also mentally. That would cause a lot of I'm going to say mental discomfort and harm potentially, as well as emotional, because you're taking in so many other energies of people. And especially if you're not conscious about clearing your energy field down. But the womb is like the most sacred area, so obviously taking that energy in, that then would require a lot of healing, because you could be quite out of balance. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not healthy, okay? That is my opinion. Those are my feelings. Through doing a lot of energy healing work too, when you work with the womb or someone's energy field, you can sense and pick up on those things too. So I just wanted to say that's important to note. On the flip side, if someone has been abused, or had significant pain or trauma in that area, the same kind of things would apply in the sense of the energy fields or being open to other energies coming through that would affect them negatively. But then there would be the added pain and bonus of the trauma of that event too. So again, be kind with yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, as hard as that seems to say, as easy as it seems to say. I know that would be super hard. And work on really building up your self-esteem, your self-love and caring. And don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. That's never your fault. You have to look at ways to repair yourself then with love, with healing and boundaries again to protect yourself too. So if you were in a consensual relationship, right, and then you found out, let's say the individual had cheated or whatever, you need to then look at going forward having boundaries to help you or to put into place, or no intimacy without commitment, things like that. Now again, not everyone will agree with those things, but ultimately it is about protecting your womb space, and that should only be shared, I believe, in sacred love and union, where you both respect each other's bodies. And no one wants to be cheated on or lied, but I will say this, as women especially, I think women can be very intuitive and pick up on that. So if the partner is cheating, for example, they may feel, because then that male, for instance, maybe been intimate with them, they could feel that something is different or wrong, and energetically that's what it'll be. They could be picking up on the energy of the other woman or even the other man that maybe that partner has been cheating with. So just be careful, because your womb is also the center of things like your intuition too. It's like how you feel about things. So trust that, okay? Believe in it and remember your power, remember your body. And also one more thing I want to touch on is do things because you want to do them, not because society or a partner. I'm going to give you an example. If you want to dress a certain way let that come from you. Don't have a partner's approval or a partner being like, yeah, they don't like that, or they do, or wear this or don't wear that, or oh, you need to wear nice underwear for me, or nice pajamas. You wear what you want to wear, and that is tied into your own power. Okay, and that's something be strong in. Don't let anyone change that for you. Or the same way society makes it feel like we have to be pretty, we have to look this way, we have to look that way. There'll be these body standards women feel they have to live up to. Flat stomachs and whatnot. And some men want that. But actually, if we look at as women, like within the stomach area, there is so much the woman holds. And if the woman creates life and carries a child, obviously the stomach has to grow. So remember that stomach is there for a reason. It's there to support you, and it's there to help you. If we look at animals, pretty much all animals have a stomach. Do you know what I mean? Cats, they have a pouch. It protects them because the stomach and those areas are there, sacred. It's like got to be protected. A lot of, if you look in nature, a lot of animals, they're not shy about how they look. They just get on with life. But as humans, it's different for us, and we have all these additional pressures, and it's not nice. So don't let anyone dictate to you how you should look, what you should wear, how you should feel. One good practice I do every day is I talk to myself, or I look in the mirror, and I just say, I thank my body. Look, it got me through another day. It held me up. It supported me. It functioned, Everything's working as it should. Sometimes I picture golden light going into my womb area and healing itself. And I say thank you, and I give gratitude to my body. That's a huge thing as well. Give yourself gratitude. I say to my stomach, oh great, my stomach's a bit big. I say, you know what, I love it. It's held me, it's supported me, and guess what? It holds a lot. It holds a lot of emotion, it holds a lot of pain, but guess what? That's mine. And if I don't love myself, no one else will love you. So it's really about connecting to that energy. And don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed of your periods. Don't be ashamed of your cycle. We don't have to hide away from this. We don't have to have that kind of stigma and embarrassment attached to it. I know not everyone may relate to that, but I know there are a lot of us that are. We should be able to talk openly, honestly, and freely about these things, especially with your friends, or if you do have a partner. It's really important to be able to have these open and honest conversations, because it is a part of you. It's a part of nature, and it's a part of your power, which is so sacred and healing. And ultimately, once you are in more of an alignment there, things in your life will flow more easily, and you will be able to discern, healthy relationships for yourself. Having a healthier relationship with your body, with your womb, and being in connection with that. So I hope this video has sparked some guidance and inspiration within you, and has also been empowering for you as well. Please give the video a like. Let me know in comments if this resonates. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and bringing you more videos. Thank you so much for watching.